Okay, so it seems to never end with this VTuber drama. Now, this is something to do with Nijisanji. There's been even more that's come out from the Twisty Amanozako kind of incident, and it's kind of gotten out of control now. And this is something that maybe some of you guys haven't seen, mainly due to the fact that this was all on an alt account. But if you guys remember, we obviously saw a Twisty Amanozako apology over on her alt, which got about 1.4 million views. So very many people saw it. Obviously, I don't know why they chose to do it in an alt. I'm assuming it's something to do with the fact that it's like a kind of brand account and they're not allowed to do anything on that account. But yeah, essentially they released an apology, which we've read through in the previous video if you guys want to go watch that. But she's also followed up recently in the past kind of half an hour with an apology and my truth, which pretty much calls out, you know, Nijisanji pretty heavily. We know Nijisanji isn't the best of companies in terms of VTuber studios. Actually, to be fair, in terms of VTuber companies, they're pretty horrible. We all know exactly what they've done in the past, the misconduct that has been taking place. And obviously, this stream outlines a lot of the kind of misconduct and a lot of the problems with Nijisanji from another perspective. Now, obviously, it's kind of a tricky situation here, obviously, because everyone hates Twisty for a lot of the things that she's been saying, the racist and transphobic comments towards people. Now, obviously, she starts the stream off because I've got cliff notes here, essentially to keep it summarized for you, so we don't have to go through the whole 30-minute stream where she's kind of whispering into the mic a little bit. But essentially, she, you know, apologizes and almost does like bar for bar exactly what this says. Well, not bar for bar, but you get what I mean. She covers pretty much everything she says in that apology that we covered. And obviously, they do have some clarifications, obviously saying that deleting post was unrelated to a leaked video. It was due to a personal decision. They say they clarify that they're not anti-LGBT or racist and do not intend to be a political streamer. They express a personal dislike for Yaoi, apparently, and they say the person mentioned in a leaked video was not a fan, but someone that was stalking and harassing them for years, which obviously does provide a little bit more of clarity behind that. But also at the same time, even if it's a harasser, a stalker, or just a regular fan, it doesn't matter. You still can't be racist and you know, transphobic to those kind of people. I feel like that's just completely wrong. Now, obviously, then they go on to pretty much throw Nijisanji under the bus. Now, again, this whole live stream, by the way, is all black and white. You can just hear it. Like, it's very quiet. But essentially, yeah, they say the creator describes, you know, obviously a dream job opportunity. Obviously, Nijisanji, a massive talent, which, again, is really big. And it's a huge opportunity for someone like this. Despite, you know, all of the past things that have been going on with Nijisanji, it's still somewhere where you can get your voice heard and still somewhere where you can make a lot of money and become potentially very popular. And obviously, obviously all of this turned into stress and disappointment and disillusionment due to a lack of support and unclear communication and a toxic work culture. And they also highlight that they actually went 8 months without a steady income, and they were being asked to commit fully to the new role and delete social media pages. So yeah, again, they weren't paid, I don't know if they were saying no, without steady income. So I think they were paid maybe, but just not really in a kind of full sense. I don't think they were like, you know, making a salary type thing like a lot of them, you know, would do. So again, that's pretty bad. Obviously bad on Nijisanji's part there. They obviously go on to say there was concerns about inappropriate behavior. We've heard about stuff like this before with certain VTubers, and essentially, yeah, they say specifically regarding an individual who actually has a history of manipulating and targeting new hires, especially women. So again, obviously that's all to come out. They never said a name there. I never heard a name whenever I was listening to the stream. All I just heard was it was a individual as a part of Nijisanji, whether that's a VTuber or maybe a member of staff, we don't really know. And obviously, yeah, they say they actually you know, raised issues with this in July 2024, but no action was taken against them. So obviously it proves how Nijisanji has been dealing with a lot of these kind of harassment issues behind the scenes and some of this misconduct situations, you know, behind the scenes as well. They say they felt pressured to actually stay quiet about their experiences, and they say private conversations were leaked in 2024, forcing public backlash and leading to an investigation. They never felt their concerns were meaningfully addressed. And conversations were focused on their exit rather than resolving the issue. They're not confident a real investigation took place, and note that a settlement was considered, which they decided against. Obviously, yeah, this all again, It's crazy. There is so much that they've thrown under the bus here that we didn't really know about. Obviously, some things we knew about with the kind of things that got leaked and, discussed in public. But there's also a lot of things behind the scenes. They're saying they claim to have all the documentation supporting their claims, including acknowledgement from the person involved, which, again, they haven't actually provided anywhere, which maybe someone has the link to it. But again, I haven't found the link to any kind of documentation yet. Obviously, they say they have it, but obviously we don't know if that's real until they actually provide it to us. So again, we'll have to see about that. They say another coworker also leaked the outfit, ruining a moment they were excited to share with fans, which obviously isn't great. Pretty terrible. They say personal interactions and harassments. The creator discusses an individual who initially seemed friendly, but whose behavior became overly familiar, making flirty comments about their appearance and voice, and asking them to say specific things, which again, it's a little bit, weird. They say the individual repeatedly kept pushing to meet in Japan, ignoring boundaries and making unsettling suggestions like staying in their hotel room together. The creator later discovered that this individual had used similar tactics to try and guilt trip them into attending an event and had exhibited aggressive behavior towards another person for not wanting to meet up. They say a clip of a conversation is shared where the creator confronts the individual offering to fly girls out to stay in their hotel, emphasizing it's not a joke, which again is pretty crazy, and this is around about the 20-minute mark. I'll leave a link down below to this live stream if you guys want to hear it, because again, it's a long stream. You can hear here.
They had not many people for their event, and they really needed me.
Which it's so quiet. I'm sorry, it's really hard to hear, and this is also another reason why I'm trying to give you the notes instead, because again, it's just impossible to hear what she's saying half the time. Even some people put that out down in the comments. They're saying a clip of saying the individual's response, well, your friend is just so nice, and I just couldn't really help myself, hit home, leading the creator to state that being nice is not an excuse to push boundaries or sexually harass someone, which obviously, that's kind of crazy, I don't really know. It's just a weird situation. Obviously, the creator being this person here. Again, it's kind of hard to describe them now because I don't really know what's going to happen with them after exposing all of this Nijisanji stuff. Obviously, it's still terrible what they did, and I think, we should still kind of keep that, in our minds here. And obviously, they go into a final apology and stuff like that, where essentially they say, public posts were often the only way to get a response from their job when private attempts failed. They said a friend exposed information as a way to get back at the creator after boundaries were set due to abusive behavior. They said she admits to being naive, but felt that they had no one else to turn to. They apologized to their fans for past words, explaining that their anger stemmed from frustration, financial stress, feeling unsafe at work, and disrespect. Again, there's a lot of apologies and stuff like that too. And again, as I said, I'll leave this all down below. These were just some of the notes that I picked up on this kind of stuff. And I thought that, it was a pretty, interesting stream because it does expose a lot of the misconduct that Nijisanji does, which I'm going to be honest, no one's really surprised about that. We all know that Nijisanji is a terrible company. And, I think this just further proves how terrible they are. So again, it's good that this has been brought to light. But also, I don't want this to be used as a kind of takeaway from this, because I don't want people to look at this apology and go, oh, I actually apologize. Anyways, let's look into this Nijisanji stuff, because I feel like this is a slight attempt at trying to divert the situation to somewhere else, because, obviously it's a good tactic. I'm not going to lie. It's a good tactic to, kind of throw your company under the bus there and essentially make people focus on that more so than, on your actual apology and the things that you've done, which again, maybe that's not their intention there. Maybe they just felt like it's the right thing to do. But in my opinion, it feels like that was their intention to kind of draw a lot of the attention to somewhere else. So again, obviously that does feel a little bit weird, but also we can't just ignore the fact that, they've talked about this. And it's obvious that, something bad is still going on at Nijisanji, and they haven't really changed their ways, especially since a lot of the stuff that has come out, previously. But yeah, that's pretty much the entirety of the notes from this. I didn't really want to, go through this entire live stream, react to it, get it sound boosted, everything like that, because I feel like it would be a little bit of a slog for some of you guys to get through. So I hope that these notes have helped you out in understanding this. Obviously, whenever it comes to the individuals mentioned and the people that they talk about in terms of, the individual that was trying to push for stuff, etc. Again, maybe there's some speculation behind that on who it was. I saw some comments talking about people. I'm not super familiar with Nijisanji, so again, I don't really know if there is like a very obvious person that, she's kind of hinting at there. but maybe you guys know. Let me know down in the comments, because again, I am interested in this situation and what could have happened. But again, you know, we'll have to see if anything else does come out, because so far the account is still part of Nijisanji. Now, she hasn't streamed, she hasn't really done anything on there in a little while, which makes me think maybe they've just kind of silently just like kicked her off. I don't know. Obviously, with a lot of this stuff coming out, I'm sure there will be some kind of announcement soon of this, you know, kind of changing, because, you know, coming out with all of this stuff behind the company's back, obviously is not going to sit well with Nijisanji. Whether it was the right thing to do or not, you know, it doesn't matter. It's more so Nijisanji now have like a means to get rid of her and a means to graduate her, essentially. Now, again, some people are also speculating the fact that maybe this was all a ploy to get them out of Nijisanji, and maybe that this, you know, including the clips that were posted on YouTube, by the way, and all of this cancelling, and also, you know, now this coming out about Nijisanji is all some big scheme in the background to kind of, you know, just get her kicked out so that she doesn't have to stay at Nijisanji any longer and fulfill the rest of her contract, which may be true, but again, I don't know how predatory their contracts are as to, you know, whether she can just leave freely or not. So again, that would be something to be looked into in the future, and maybe that'll be further explained. But it seems like this situation is further evolving more than we thought, you know? Obviously, I thought it was just that original clip post, and then that apology, and then that was going to be it. They weren't going to talk about it anymore, and then it was just going to move on. But this is crazy. This is a pretty big bombshell towards Nijisanji here. Obviously, people were a little bit skeptical whenever it came to this initially, because they saw Nijisanji and they're like, oh boy, here we go again. But Nijisanji weren't really involved in that first bit. Obviously, there was a couple of things that they talked about with their model to do with Nijisanji, but that's about it. But now they are fully involved in this situation. Now they've brought them in to all of these allegations of misconduct, allegations of just kind of pushing off a ton of kind of allegations towards someone else, which again, obviously is not great, and it's not a great look for Nijisanji. And as I said, I'm not very surprised that, you know, this has happened. You know, and obviously they've come out of it. Obviously, maybe they could be wrong, and I know everybody loves to dunk on Nijisanji whenever, you know, as much as possible. I love doing that too, but obviously, you know, maybe this could be made up, you never know. But honestly, knowing their history, it seems like it could be true, and obviously we're gonna have to wait for a response from Nijisanji themselves, because this is definitely some serious stuff that has gone on behind the scenes that, yeah, Twisty has kind of exposed here. But yeah, I mean, this has got around 5,000 views, 300 likes, so it seems like not very many people have seen this so far. So yeah, I mean, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Do you think that this is a pretty bad situation for Nijisanji at the moment? What do you think about a lot of the things that, you know, she mentioned in this post? Because it's pretty crazy, and yeah, there's probably going to be even more coming out, but I'll definitely keep you guys up to date if there's anything else added to this situation as a whole. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.